I'm starting this episode with something that I've never actually done before. Usually get a big welcome, a big gas up of the person that's sitting across from me, but this episode's super unique. And the main reason why is because I've got someone who is literally my best friend for over a decade, and I want to reinforce, I guess, the standard of friendship and relationship that we've had for such a long time. And we start that with a story all the way back to 2015, when me and Jack were 16 years old in fourth year at school, and we used to copy each other's homework all the fucking time because neither of us were actually in at the same time. A lot of the time we were either dogging it or try to skimp out on days, and we ended up most of the time, you know, when it came to homework time, when it came to prelims, when it came to exams, we'd leverage each other's notes and basically have a carbon copy of the exact same answers. And we had a teacher at the time, her name was Miss Moore, and I was in science at the time, Jack was in a different class, and we both got pulled out of class at the exact same time. And Miss Moore basically was like, look, yourself and Jack have the exact same answers, so a carbon copy. Who copied who? And I said it was me. I copied Jack. Miss Moore then went and chapped Jack's classroom, asked Jack the same, and Jack's response was, I copied John. And what then happened afterwards was we were both pulled into a hallway together, and it was basically like, who's going to own up then? Who's going to own up? Who actually copied who? And both of us at the exact same time went, I copied him. And she just she laughed. She ended up laughing at that point. She was like, just whatever. Yous are both fucked, essentially, in a nice way of saying it. So we both failed our prelim as a result. But I think that's a testament to our friendship, mate, to be fair, if we think all the way back to then.
Fucking the good old days, mate. I actually forget about that story all the time, but then when you've always when we talk about it, it just brings back all those memories of you talk about the dog in it, you know, not going to school. Sometimes I'd just chat your front door with a bag of square sausage and just stuff to go and put on a fry up, and then we'd maybe put something on the telly and fall asleep. That was pretty much fifth year, wasn't it? Or fourth year or fifth year, something like that for us anyways. No, good old days, mate.
Sure. It was very, very different time back then too. Completely different people. I think when I reflect back to then, it was 50-60% attendance, played games all the time. It was Jack would chap the door. I'd actually know based off the time of which Jack was chapping my door whether he was going to ask me to dog it. So if it was between 8:20 and 8:30, it meant that we were going to school. He was ready to rock. He'd spent the time getting up earlier and getting ready. If it was anything after 8:30, it was going to be a drive patch it. And then that was pretty much it. But we came a long way since then, bro. I mean, decade later,
bro, that's crazy.
The uncommon, obviously, you are our high ticket closer. You went from working in the council for 7 years in IT to basically me dragging you into the uncommon with multiple different offers. See, but the stuff about in content, by the way, about multiple offers, I don't necessarily mean for prospects. Sometimes it'd be for team members as well. But yeah, to now, mate, where you're closing $4,000, $5,000 deals on a regular basis, which is, you literally went from zero sales ability to where you are now. So I want to unpack a lot of that today, bro. But what's that journey been like, man?
Before even sales ability, mate, it starts with just zero discipline, zero motivation. So for me, it was just having to sort out my own personal life first, and also I think we're wired in the way we need something to aim for, and then have the clarity on what the path is going to be to get there. I didn't have that when I was in IT for 7 years. I enjoyed the first 3 years of it because we had a small team. As you know, our backgrounds in competitive Call of Duty and stuff like that, we really do thrive in teams and small teams and stuff like that. So the first 3 years were pretty good. The relationships I had at that time were very strong. Young IT guys, we all had good personalities. We really clicked, and it was almost like a brotherhood. But the turning point for me was when basically the council had taken over the leisure centres in North Lanarkshire, and due to that, we went from a team of 4 to a team of 40 plus just in IT, and we all got put in separate teams within the IT. Is how it's structured and stuff like that. And it was almost like a switch had switched on my brain, if you know what I mean. Where I basically didn't enjoy it as much. I had no motivation. Kind of seeped into my own personal life. Was not going to the gym. Hadn't been to the gym for God knows how long, a long time, which is quite a scary thought now looking back on it. But even just simple stuff like making your bed. There's just these small things, man, that your standards start to decrease across the board. And even at that point, I still said not you about 3 times.
Yeah.
which I look back on it, I must have been so dumb.
Mhm.
So dumb to think about it. But I'm glad I made that leap for sure.
For sure, mate. How long did you feel that? Because you said like the first 3 years, but
Yeah.
you were in it for 7. So did you feel that way for 4 years?
4 years, man.
Wow.
4 years, man. It's but that's the thing, man. It's like when I was 17 and I first got into that role, it was the people around me at the time were like, "Oh, it's job for life. Job for life. Don't need to worry about it. You'll get progression and stuff like that." And I did get progression, so I was like, "Oh, maybe they're talking the truth. Maybe it's a job for life." But then I realised that I had no purpose, no fulfillment, and I think that's now look like hindsight's obviously like a beautiful thing. Like looking back on it, that's what I now know that's what I was missing from that period of my life. But at that time, I didn't know what I was missing. I didn't know where I could go or what I could do to almost like flip on its head. So, yeah, I think it's 4 years, no purpose, no fulfillment. That was what caused it.
It's interesting though, because like comfort can literally be like the worst drug in the world, especially when you start to feel it and experience it. Because I think for you, you know, you'd got yourself into a routine, especially when it was like working from home, where all you had to do was get up at 9, put on a wee mouse software that would move on your
Mouse
behalf,
jiggler, mate,
a mouse jiggler.
Just like peek open my wee eye and go, it's still working, that. Back to sleep, you know what I mean?
But I think it's like back then, like you didn't know any better.
Yeah.
It was literally just like that was you had you know, immense amount of comfort. You had consistent, like decent-ish salary coming in.
Yeah.
You didn't even really know about the like this world that we're in now, innit?
I think that's the big breakthrough moment for sure.
Yeah.
Which is like, I didn't know there was young boys younger than me doing 10k, 20k, six-figure months. Like,
Yep.
once your eyes are open to that, it's like, damn, like I didn't know what this business world was like. I thought it was just like corporate and you know, I didn't know what LinkedIn was and these like freelancers and stuff like that. Like there's so many different ways to build a business, but at that point in my life, I didn't even know what this whole world looked like.
Yep.
So for me, it was just like eye opening.
What do you feel like your identity, if you were to describe your identity back then, what would you describe how it looked like and then compare it to now?
I don't reflect on it too much because we're just so busy. Do you know?
Yeah.
There's just always, we're always trying to look forward, but see when I do get moments to actually look back at those years of my life, man, like I feel like I definitely, I know it's quite cliche, but I do feel like a genuine new person, and I think that's been almost like validated in a way by when I've seen older mates or bumped into a guy from my old work, and the person I was in that role was so different to the person that I'm now. So, and this isn't like I've sat and grinded on my mindset stuff. This was just like surround yourself with good people with good intentions that are doing good things that want to help you do good as well. And it's like, for me, that was just a natural progression. It wasn't like I was trying to force it or anything like that, you know?
Because I think like when you think about the discipline piece, there's been so much of, because you always got sick of me saying it, which was like you kept speaking about motivation. I'm like, bro, motivation doesn't matter, mate. We don't need motivation. Like we just need the discipline piece. And it's like when you think about you now, it's just like the polar opposite of that. And I don't even. It's funny, bro, because a lot of like sales and copywriting is reading the mind of the other person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you. Every single time you use the word motivation, you don't even let me talk before you literally go straight away. You go motivation, like, I know it's not important. And then you'll like segment to discipline, which I think again is like an identity correction. Because if I think about like that word was the most common word for you because you were in an environment of comfort. You didn't have any reason. You were just a pawn in a huge, or a cog in a huge machine.
Yeah.
It didn't actually matter like what you done. And that piece correlating to like now where like you're the one that brings in the deals. Like that is literally the responsibility shift is like night and day, right? It's like,
yeah, responsibility shift's a good way to put it, but also just like going from very comfortable to super uncomfortable as well. It's like there was that you can see why my identity has shifted when you kind of, obviously you've seen it, but me like knowing what I was like before that to literally cutting that off to start something new. Yep. And the standards that you drive and you want from obviously team members and stuff like Also, it took time. Like
Yep.
when you've been 7 years of bad habits and bad wiring and maybe sometimes bad leadership from certain people and kind of a crucial part of your life and
Yep.
stuff like that. Like to working with you, it's night and day. And although like some people are really good at driving change in themselves, and I think that's probably the best way, and it's a much more solid way to make change when it comes from inner self. Sometimes you do need other people to spark that as well, and you definitely like sparked that for me. And a lot, like not even just in one way, but so many different aspects, man.
Because I know, like, for a lot of people from the outside looking in, like, if we think about, I mean, Reese is probably the only person that's really actually seen it, but when we bump into, like, mates from school, bumping them at the gym, it looks like sunshine and rainbows from the outside because it's like, two best mates scaling a business together. It's so exciting, but, like, me and you both know that that's not the case at all.
Mate. No, mate. We've had our moments, mate. Like,
Yeah,
let's
100%.
the thing is, though, we don't shy away from that.
No.
Never have, never will. Like, we've had moments when we were 14, 13, like still have little bits here and there, but I think it's the way that we come to these conversations, these difficult conversations that we have together, and we always resolve them. That's the main thing, because ultimately when you know deep down that the other person has their best intentions at their heart, then you can never really go wrong. Do you know what I mean? As long as it doesn't get personal, which is never hard.
100%, bro. What do you feel like has been the most like uncomfortable moment in the years that we've worked together?
Most uncomfortable. It's a good one, mate. It's a good one. Probably just like we went through a bit of a dry spell on a sales front for a little bit, and just like due to like price increases, there was no challenges and stuff like that required just a lot more sales development on my end. You know, going from a community offering to a mastermind, but it's coaching. You're going from low ticket to high ticket closing. And this was a good, 2.5 years, 3 years ago now or something like that. Can't remember the exact date, but I put a lot of pressure, as you know, on myself. I know I hate it when things aren't going the way I like them to. So I do already put a lot of pressure on myself, but like having to have those like conversations with the team on why things aren't moving us forward and being like almost responsible, like feeling like total responsibility for it. Although you guys done a really good job of like trying to share that responsibility with me. That's probably the most uncomfortable moment, is just like trying to get that obviously like building momentum within the new offer and validating it. And we did eventually. That's the main thing. And it's we've done price increases, you know, a few more times after that initial. It's always been much, much smoother.
Yeah. I think back to the moment, I think I was in the RBS Accelerator Hub, took the call live, and I think we'd had like 70 leads through. And you, this was very early stages, by the way. Jack hadn't closed, I don't think any of them, or maybe like one or something like that. And this was like, this is when I started to probably, because I was like tagging in quite a lot, and I realised that I was probably being quite overbearing, because for me as well, like Jack was technically our first ever hire. Like I'd never actually hired anyone or trained anyone, so you can imagine the peaks and troughs that naturally came with that.
We were both learning.
Yeah, big time, 100%. So like with that, it was like I went from one end of the spectrum to the other. So I went from almost probably being overbearing, almost being like whenever Jack had a problem, it was like, "What do you think?" And then I would just instantly go into like solving mode. To like that was probably the first month where I was just like abdicating control. Hey, you can just run with this and let's see what happens. And I remember being, because we drive most of our, not even most, all of our decisions by data. So we have a scorecard that we run through even still to this day, where it's like how many leads, how many ideal fits, and to how many like calls booked and how many closed. It's been tracked and it's been reviewed every week. So there's nowhere to hide when data's not good.
Or missing.
Or missing, yeah. So when like reflecting back to then, I just remember me always like asking the kind of like breakdown of where things had went wrong potentially. I could tell on your side you were feeling very uncomfortable, and I had to hop off to go. I think I was maybe shooting a podcast or something like that. I remember Andy phoned me afterwards, and I think the conversation you had was like you had questioned whether or not this was for you.
Oh, I've had these are very early days, but when I reflect on those days, it was nothing to do with the sales. It was just like the level that you had, especially like we were generating a shit ton of leads, like a lot of leads, and I was very naive, very under prepared for it, probably, definitely overwhelmed, and then things were just slipping through the cracks. Guilt was starting to build, and it was just like all these things. The pressure was starting to build, like, so early on, especially when I was going through a massive growth period personally as well. Yeah, that was a difficult moment, but we got over that one pretty quickly. I'm quite I wouldn't say I'm quite a level-headed guy, I would say, like all year round, but in such a high pressure role, you're going to have moments, especially when it's your first time doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's all part of the journey. I'm pretty sure every salesperson can probably relate to that one of, if it was the first 2 years or something like within their journey, that there's probably moments like pulling the hair out, stressed, not really get to sleep, like all that kind of stuff. Now, mate, like fine. Like, I'm so cemented in this kind of sales role now, where I don't really have any kind of setbacks as much.
Why didn't you quit?
Oh, mate, I couldn't go back. No chance, mate. There's no chance I was going back to corporate jobs, man. Absolutely no chance. See me. Well, a few factors. Obviously, building something with your best mate is it's not an opportunity that everyone gets. There was a lot of things I really enjoyed. Obviously, the things I didn't enjoy was sales at that point, just because it wasn't going right, and you're quite reactionary and stuff like that. Andy, like, love Andy as like a good mate. Like, helped me so much during those times as well. A lot of the members of the Young and Lazy, the Uncommon back in the day, were also good friends as well. So there were so many aspects that I loved. I just knew I had to persevere, because I know I can handle the pressure. I know I can, if you know what I mean, like, just from previous things. But yeah, I think I just had to show, because we're quite notorious for keeping our emotions in and hiding them, right? I shared them so that I could just get people to help me, because I knew, although it might seem like I was maybe close to leaving or close to quitting or just giving up, deep down I knew I wasn't. I just needed to, like, share what was on my mind so that people that were more experienced, who'd been through that, could, like, actually navigate it and get to some sort of, like, root solution quicker, rather than me just sleeping on it all day.
When you think about, like, because the majority of thing what stops people from doing that is their ego. Why do you think there was, like, no ego with it?
Mate, probably because, like, if I had an ego and I kept an ego, we wouldn't grow as quick. And I'm not selfish enough to do that. Like, I want, like, the opportunity that you gave me, like, I want you to be able to grasp that. And if I'm the person holding that back because I got an ego, then that's like, that would make me feel so guilty, man. So, and that applies to so many other things as well. Like, I don't mind giving up a sales call to anyone like yourself, Ali, for instance, who'd be best suited for closing certain deals. I'm happy to give up my commission. I don't care about commission, man. I care about the big picture. The 5 years, 10 years down the line. Like, this is just small things, man.
What like, how, so you spoke about the pressure piece, like, then compared to now. Like, how do you actually deal with it? Because there'll be a lot of people out there just now that are like, maybe they're wanting to get into sales. Like, we had Sam Barton who came to the event. He's wanting to get into sales. I think a lot of these guys, like, they know from a knowledge perspective what it's going to be like, but they don't know from a wisdom perspective of what it's actually like to go through those spells and what it feels like to have 5 calls back to back where none of them close, and then have 5 calls back to back where they all close, and the constant, because highs and lows is probably a big thing in sales too, where it's like, we finished on Friday there with fucking, what, 22 grand, 750 collected in a week. Like, that as a high is like, it's quite nuts.
I can't really pinpoint one thing, to be honest with you. Like, see, when there's like a multitude of things that all happen at once that all play a part in it. So one thing that kind of stood, when you asked me that question, one thing that stood out was definitely, like, Conor Malone and, like, his impact when it comes to like stoicism and the things that just if anyone knows Conor Mullen, then you'll know the quotes that he's got in his wee phone folder with 1,000 Marcus Aurelius quotes. But I think it's like control what you can and forget about the rest. You know, it's like just that simple mindset of, and when I think about that, it's just like, okay, what's my inputs? If I do these inputs well, how can I do better? Reviewing sales calls, whatever it may be. And yeah, I think it's just putting in like solid foundations, routines, nighttime routines, morning routines. Like, you want to be able to, regardless if a call closes, a call doesn't close, you want to really go home that night or whatever it may be and feel good about it. Don't want to feel guilt. Because if you feel guilt, you'll know exactly where it's coming from. Maybe it's because you didn't prep properly. Maybe it was because you didn't review it. Maybe you're having the same issues in your sales calls when you think you probably should have a solution by now. Like, you probably know deep down where you're maybe procrastinating your growth. And I think for me, a big thing was just like taking total control and ownership over all those aspects of my life. And that built the confidence to handle everything, you know, good periods, bad periods, whatever it may be. It doesn't really matter.
So it's what you've kind of highlighted there is like knowing that you've done everything you can.
Yeah.
I think when you know that you've done that, there's that element of peace that comes with it.
Yeah.
Like COD is the one thing that always sticks out to me when I don't know, because we literally grew up, but we can bounce off each other on this. Like, we lose a game of COD, the first thing we do is a standard protocol. It's not even like it's almost
subconscious.
If it doesn't happen, it's weird, where we'll go, we know exactly what's went wrong in that game, and we'll address it we'll address it there and then to make sure it doesn't happen in the next game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's subconscious, it comes out without us even realizing it. In sales is the same shit. Come off the call, what went wrong? And the thing is, as well, though, when we lose the games on COD, there's no emotion in terms of like, we're not thinking less of ourselves. We don't think that we're a piece of shit. We don't think that we're shit. We don't think that we can't perform against the best players in the world. We still have the complete confidence and conviction, and we don't degrade ourselves, which I find is very interesting. Whereas when you're in something new, that's what you do consistently. You think you're shit. You don't think you're not good enough.
Yeah, I think it's easy to say, I don't have the skills or experience to do this, rather than just saying, like, what did I do wrong on just that call? Like, objectively. Maybe it was just the way I flowed it or whatever it may be, or didn't ask a good enough quality questions or whatever it may be. Instead of like try to go, oh, I can't handle objections or I can't do this because I don't have the skills and experience. Like COD, we didn't do that. You know, it's just rather like little moments. It's the moments in the call that you maybe didn't capitalize or pick up on.
Yeah.
You know? And I think with the reviews of calls, you understand where these moments are so that you can be a bit more proactive on future calls.
Yeah. So I think with COD as well, it's always, you can, with our experience now, we play a game, we know exactly why we lost it. Almost instantaneously. It's actually like as it's coming to a stage of the game, even like closing, I already know exactly what's went wrong.
Yeah.
But that's what a wisdom thing as well, right? Where it's like we've done it so much that we know exactly where it is. But the beauty of what compounds at that time is, like you said, there's no emotion in it. So you just pinpoint exactly what's went wrong and get straight into the next game.
Yeah.
Whereas I think with sales, there's so much emotion sometimes tied to it, mainly because a lot of people, it's a livelihood that's on the line, so they feel that way. Whereas our livelihood was on the line with COD as well. But we never, even when there was like cash on the line, and I'm thinking about like the Warzone tournament where I was sitting first until the final last game. Like when I lost, I didn't go, oh my God, I've went from winning 25 grand to winning 6. It was like, I know exactly why the fuck we lost. And I'm more pissed at why we lost as opposed to the emotional kind of.
Yeah, it comes from like just detachment, doesn't it? You need to detach yourself from the outcomes. Like whenever we went to an event, we had goals, we had things we wanted to achieve. Obviously, you need those to understand what's good, what's bad after the weekend's done. But in the moment, the last thing you're thinking about is the outcome. Yeah. You're thinking about how do I, of all the trainings, all the scrims or whatever we've done prior to this event, how do I best apply this right now in this moment? And if you do that before every call, whatever it may be, you'll set yourself up for so much more success.
For sure. What I'm curious about is like some of the things you alluded to earlier on was morning routine, night routine, calendars, all that stuff. Like, what was the actual difference? Like, if you were to truly quantify, what was the actual difference of a 9 to 5 compared to being in a startup? Like,
mate, it's the finer details, man. It's the finer details. You need everything needs to be thought about, considered, to show up the best way possible for consistently. Because like what I realised in the first couple of years of coming into a small team, you know, very much a scaling business, was the intensity of it all. And it's very easy to get overwhelmed day to day, especially if you're doing it for every day for weeks or months, probably close to a whole year that we've done it for. For me, once I started looking into nighttime routines, how to fill your own cup. So one thing I've been doing recently, as you know, is like going go-karting every weekend.
Yeah.
Why? Because as soon as I put that helmet on, there's no thoughts, there's no business thoughts, no sales thoughts. It's just about how can I be the quickest I can be, you know? So like, why have I done that? It's because it helps me show up on the Monday when we start the week the best mindset, my best energy, and I can do it consistently.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel overwhelmed, I don't feel burnt out, etc.
Yeah.
And it's like that comes from the foundations of your routines and understanding how to show up the best outside of the business.
Yeah, because I think as well, if we go, okay, Monday to Friday is when we're technically like fully dialed in and working. It's like, okay, 50 hours over Monday to Friday. Realistically, like what you were probably doing prior was that you were doing 50 hours, just like you would in a 9 to 5. You show up, you work, you clock in, you leave, and your prep work could probably be done in those 50 hours. Whereas in such a high intense startup environment, the 50 hours needs to be on actual outputs that are going to get us more deals in the door, more cash over the line, and really grow the business. Whereas the morning routines, the evening routines, it's really an extra few hours on top of the 50 hours. And it took you probably a good amount of time to actually go, you know what, see if I just got in half an hour earlier each morning, half an hour and leave, I can leave bang on whatever time I want, but it's stripping away I work between these times. It's not actually the times that are important, it's what you get done.
Absolutely. I think for me, it's like, even now, so we do content Sunday.
Yeah.
Every Sunday I'll go to John's, we'll do 2 hours, 3 hours of just like content strategy, schedule our posts for the week, etc. Now, I've missed that just a few, like my sister had a baby, etc. And I fainted. That's another story for another day. I'm not exposing that. It's all I lost out there, by the way.
All I lost is crazy.
All I lost is crazy, mate. But content on Sunday. See because I missed that.
Yeah.
Writing content on working hours feels weird now.
Yeah. 100%.
I can't do it. I genuinely can't do it. Doesn't feel productive. I feel like I'm always chasing my tail at that point, and it just feels so weird to me now. And I think if there's people out there that are still doing content when they should be doing other things, like honestly, see if they just batched it on a Sunday, or they just done it very early on a morning and just left their actual like hours where they can actually talk to other people.
Yeah.
You don't get phone somebody at 6 a.m, you know what I mean? Unless they're just as crazy as you. But that can be game changing from like just building momentum as well, and be able to make sure you're doing your inputs across the board.
It's funny because you speak about the Sunday piece, and it was when I went to the lodge with Bex. I was like, I'm taking a full 2 days, switching off whatever. Also, the Monday, my car broke down when I was driving home on the Monday. But my thought process was, I remember putting it in my calendar. My first call wasn't until 1. Like, driving home at 8, I'll get home at 9, and then I'll do a couple hours of content. I remember just looking at it in my calendar and just being like, you're disgusting. Like, you're actually like, why are you in my calendar on a Monday, man? Like, you're usually done and dusted by this point. Like, what are you even doing? It was literally like, it was a human that I was fucking hating. I was like, why are you even there? Aye.
So I find, for me, it's just like foundation stuff now. I can't believe I went so long without them.
Yep.
Now looking back, hindsight again, maybe put about too much resistance to all these morning routines that you see on LinkedIn and these gurus that are waking up at 3:40 in the morning to go into a gym session. Like, I was very stuck in my old ways until I tried it, and I was like, you know, it's actually quite peaceful. That is quite peaceful. Feels good. And I'm a big, I've probably mentioned that a few times in this podcast already, but I'm a massive, like, when I go to my bed, I want to feel proud.
Yeah.
I fucking hate going to my bed, and there's like, see if there's one thing that I'm not proud of it, I will keep me up at night, man.
Yeah. I guess the resistance piece, because there's probably plenty of people out there just now that know they should make changes but aren't. Like, why? What was a penny drop for you?
Penny drop moment. I genuinely don't know. I think I just had so many bad habits, man. Like, working 9 to 5 for 7 years, I feel like that work-life balance gets thrown about and all this different stuff. I genuinely, I can't really put it on one thing. I think for me, it was just like, again, shifting my identity.
Yeah.
So for me, it was, I know where I want to get to. I know I'll get there faster if I make these changes.
Yeah.
And this isn't all just business related either. You know, this is like business and personal life and where I want to get to. The kind of man I want to be. Father, XYZ, like proper vision stuff. It's like, you're not going to be able to sleep until 9 a.m. and just get through it. Like, you're going to have to get up at 6. There's going to be things that will be difficult. It's going to be chaos, whatever it may be. Like, why not just make that change now and just get used to it? What I would say is just like, if no one's done it before, like, just give it a try, man. Like, honestly, it is so rewarding, I would say.
Yeah.
It's quite a hard thing to like touch or whatever, but trust me, at night time you'll know.
Yeah. I think that for me was the high performance days. Like, when I done those, it was like that was like proving to myself that I could do anything really, like as an actual challenge, but also I felt like there was a part of my kind of older self that just like died with that shit, where it was like, I can't actually do anything I want. And when I think about what I thought your answer was going to be, was me and Jack have one-to-ones every Friday. It's our sales huddle. We go through the week, we review it. I give Jack feedback on things that I feel like could be improved. I give him feedback on things he's done fucking incredible. There's a balance of the both. I remember a conversation we had at some point this year, and you were just like, I'm just fucking sick of being this way. Like, being like, and it was almost like things just need to fucking change, because I'm actually just getting fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
I remember you actually feeling very, like, almost like angry with yourself. And that actual being like a proper turning point.
So I'm saying, like, it was an identity shift, but it's not as, sometimes you can make an identity shift by being through just by being raging with yourself.
Yep.
And I think those ones, like, for instance, the one that maybe people could resonate is like the drinking one. You know, maybe they were drinkers, they got into business to stop drinking, but then they may have one or two here, but maybe one blows out, and you always look back on that night going, why the fuck did I drink that night? I hate myself. It's like, I'm never going to drink again. Like, that's like the start of like an identity shift that you're going through, because you're basically just training your subconscious to have conscious thoughts about never doing that again. And for me, that was like a big realization, big breakthrough for me. It's like, I didn't know how to go about it. People talk about like making this identity shift, but what does that actually mean? Like, how do you even go through that? You just pray it happens at some point. Do you know what I mean? But it was actually just from consistently putting it in front of your mind.
Yeah.
So it's actually trained your subconscious to follow that path ultimately. So for me, it was constantly thinking about 6 a.m. wake ups. It was constantly thinking about early night times. Doing content on Sundays. Like, these were just thoughts, even though I wasn't doing them at the time, they were just thoughts I was having. So when I'd done them, it just felt so rewarding. Yeah. And it was like, I can't go back now.
I think as well, your older self probably fucking hated me because I was doing all those things.
Oh,
so it probably was like a constant reminder, which I think can make such a, like you said earlier on, where it's like, yeah, you can make shifts yourself, but if you're also got other people that can kind of push you on. I think when you came into the Uncommon, you were exposed to Conor Malone. You were exposed to an Andy, you were exposed to me. It wasn't like me and you were side by side, but like all these other people though. Then like Lawrence comes into the picture. We go to Lawrence's gaff in the West End and we're doing a strategy day together, and you see how he's thinking, you see how he's exited a business, and all these things are like, you look at them and it's like they're fucking working 24/7. They're up early. They sacrifice sleep. They go gym when they should, when they say they would. Like all these things just like stack up.
That's why it's so easy for me to sell this, because it's like I'm actually a product of my own environment in that way. So when I hear people that are struggling with these things, I can communicate that in a way that they know it's real, and I can share some deep stories of times where they can probably resonate, but the things that actually helped me change that. And you're right, it was the Uncommon, yourself, but also like just the environment that we've built within the group as well.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to plug or try to sell anybody watching this, but like it is a genuine thing. Like I went from someone that didn't switch on once for years, didn't care about my own personal development, my own physique or whatever it may be, and almost like a switch that had changed the moment I came in.
Yep.
But just because the switch has been turned on doesn't mean it's just like, you know, it's all there for you to take.
Yep.
It's going to be moments of rewiring, as I say. But that switch was definitely like turned on that first day, mate. Like, it was quite crazy. It was mental.
It's interesting because you alluded to like one thing that we've always had, which we always say like, let's hope that we never take it for granted. I think at times we do take it for granted, you know what I'm going to say, but like our friendship as a whole, we have each other's best intentions. We genuinely like want to see the other person win almost more than ourselves. If I think about the Miss Moore story as an example, we want to take the plunge, we want to basically been hacked off an exam. I think about like Andrew Graham's one example. I was speaking to him literally this week, and he was speaking about like other groups that he's been part of. And he walks into these rooms and like you can feel the transactional, I'm only in it for me, I don't give a fuck about you. They're just trying to just find opportunities, find ways. And but what comes with that though is like you lose the genuine friendship or relationship underneath it. Yeah. And it's like, there's a client just now who's going through a tough time, and I was, even when I was just driving today, pulled up my WhatsApp voice notes and I was just like, look mate, oh shit, it's tough just now, personal life's fucking shit, this and this is happening. I know you've paid for the Uncommon, as like we were going to help you all these business challenges and that sort of different stuff, but like if you want to just text me a fucking 10-minute voice note ranting about all this shit, genuinely, like I would rather you done that than you didn't text me. And not many people can say that and actually mean it. Whereas like if I open my phone, which I've not done since midday today, it's 3:15 just now, if I open my phone after this podcast and he's not messaged me, I genuinely will feel worse than if he did just send me a fucking 10-minute voice note venting. Once again, most people don't think that way. Yeah,
I think we do a good job of applying that across the business in all aspects, even from like my end to my sales front as well. Like we do discovery calls into sales calls just as part of our sales process, and I had a discovery call literally yesterday with a young guy, and 23, just started his business. However, on our funnels, it specifically says this is for businesses doing over 3K a month, etc. And they ticked it. When I phoned him, he answered. He's like, he was very apologetic. He said he was lying just to get access to the training and stuff like that. And he was like, we're not ready for this and all this different stuff. And I was like, mate, like, don't worry about it. Like, I'm not here to sell. I just want to hear like what you're doing, like how you finding it. And then he started to open up a little bit, and he was very like resistant to jump on a call. But when I just explained to him, I was like, mate, we do what we call just kind of goodwill calls, where I'd be more than happy to just jump on for an hour, hear what your challenges are, hear where you want to get to, and I'll share some stories about, you know, some other business that we've helped overcome those challenges and give you some sort of direction, actions to take away, and hopefully get you moving forward. And you know, from doing that, you'll trust us, because like at the end of the day, like there is a massive trust epidemic out there just now, where everyone's been almost cowboyed, everyone's been burnt, and I love the fact that we can be in a position where we can actually change that. Through doing some nice stuff, man. Which is like, for me, bare minimum. I don't do that thinking, fuck, I've got that call.
Yeah.
I do that getting buzzing, thinking about how I can help this person.
Yeah.
Don't need to sell them. There's no pressure on it. You know,
Yeah.
I can just jump on, help him, and then just check on him, how he's getting on. And we've done that for years, man.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like years now. And how many times has that came back to the person saying, I had a really good call with Jack and I want to get involved now?
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, that's the outcome that can often happen, but you also need to be able to do it without any expectation of the outcome. It's like,
if you're doing it because you want an outcome, don't do it.
Yeah,
Just don't do it. Because you'll just you'll build resentment, you won't like it, and you'll never be consistent of it. We've done it for years because we don't care.
Yeah. And I think that's a piece as well. It's like you give the value, give the sauce, and it's like you need to be able to say. I remember when you used to tag me in for goodwill calls, and when I had the calendar capacity to do so, I'd hop in on those, and it would be like I'd always open with the same thing, which was like, I want to solve your biggest bottleneck today. The most important thing for that is that you get clear actions on what you need to go away and do afterwards. For context, if I never hear from you again after these actions, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, will not care. I'm not going to hop off this call and think, oh, Jack, I hope you're going to convert. Or I hope he maybe turns around and thinks like, oh, that was so good, I'm going to now pay. Genuinely, if I never hear from you ever again, I won't lose any sleep over it. I won't even, I'll forget within a week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even now I'm thinking like, when was the last goodwill call I actually took? And I can't fucking remember because there's no emotional attachment to it. I hop on, I help, I hop off, and I solve a challenge. And like, based on timing, based on people's own personal fucking situation, their own business, etc. That's all the external shit that I can't control right now because they're not willing to make the commitment. So if I help them solve a challenge, that might be the door. It probably won't be the door.
Yep.
And if it's a probably won't be the door, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
And that's that shit people don't understand, man.
It's funny because we're talking about this. I'm getting I'm guilty. You see that talk about this guilt stuff.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit guilty just now, and it's because I've had a goodwill call with a guy, and we helped him, and he's been waiting for us to review certain things for him, and you're going to know who I'm talking about now.
Talking about actually. Yeah.
And mate, honestly, it's been
full
a
on.
crazy thing. Obviously, flywheel business, and it's just been launching and stuff like that. We know we'd get to it.
Yeah.
You know, of course we would. But that's how we view it, though.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, we're doing it for free. Like, why? I mean, it's actually like, although he's not paying or anything like that, I still feel guilty for maybe not delivering or communicating as well as I probably could do.
I think it's just like doing what you say you're going to do. So if you say to him, like, look, you had that goodwill call with him, you helped him with shit, and you said on the call, look, fire over me X and Y, I'll look over it, I'll give you feedback, I'll tag John in for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the goodwill piece goes as far as you want it to, which is probably a lesson to communicate to the audience. It's like you don't actually, the goodwill, because there's no expectation, because they're not paying anything, you dictate the goodwill, like where it starts and where it ends.
Yeah, for sure.
And with the goodwill stuff, it's just whatever you say you're going to do, you need to do it. And that's where you're feeling the guilt, and that's why I felt a wee bit of guilt there as well, because he's not paid anything. He's had the call with you. You've helped him with a bunch of shit already.
Mm-hmm.
But because you said we're going to do this thing, that's where the guilt comes from. And I think that's one thing to understand. Like, we've came across so many people in our times where they'll make empty promises, or they'll say they're going to do shit and they don't stick to it, or they position a call as a free call, but then they try and shoehorn an offer right in front of them. And it's a bit sad, to be fair, because I hear you on the discovery calls having to sell the fact that that's not the case. And the reality is, man, it's like they actually don't know. For the goodwill calls, obviously we have two separate calls. We have the ideal fit calls, which is like inbound leads that meet the criteria, that know roughly what our pricing is and what they want from it. For those, majority of those are one call closes.
Yeah.
Sometimes a two call close if they need to build more trust. These goodwill calls are because, like, when we run ads to young entrepreneurs, there is so many young entrepreneurs that are so early stages, they just need that wee bit of hope, that wee bit of guidance. And the goodwill that goes into the market from that, man, the amount of people that speak about us, rave about us, as a result of it is insane. But once again, you need to be able to do it without thinking about all that shit. You need to do it without thinking, oh my God, that guy's going to go and tell 10 people about us.
Yeah.
You need to literally do it thinking, okay, if I help this person and I never hear from them again, and they went and got a 9-to-5 job, and they never came into business and never told anyone about us, would I still do this? And if the answer is yes, then the goodwill shit's such a good route.
Yeah. probably not going to be for everyone.
No,
It's probably not going to
definitely
be for everyone. I'm not trying to say that we're morally better than people that don't do it. That's not the case, you know.
Yep.
I think where it actually stems from is probably, you know, raised in mother households, probably.
Yeah, single parent households.
Single
for
parent
sure.
households. You know, that's that soft streak that we have probably of like wanting to help as many people as we possibly can.
Yep.
Which is like you have to lean into that stuff, man.
I guess like in terms of like evolving from the goodwill into sales sauce when it comes to the ideal fit calls.
Yeah.
A lot of work you've done recently is on that pleaser side, which
Yeah.
once again probably comes from the single parent household, wanting to please, wanting to be a people pleaser as opposed to doing your job, doing my job, which in coaching isn't always going to be please. Sometimes you need to hit people with harsh drifts. Sales is the same. So yeah, how's that been for you? How you dealt with it?
Again, talk about rewiring.
Yeah.
Sales is, and like sales and personal growth is all rewiring stuff. Yeah, context, always been the joker, always been the person that would always try and be not the loudest, but bring a bit of energy, make people laugh. In high school, primary school, almost felt like I kind of had to, going from a place in Bellshill to Cumbernauld, didn't know anyone. So natural instincts for me is just go make as many pills as you can, just people please as much as you possibly can. And sales, there's good things about it, definitely bad things about it as well, because you're not going to have real deep conversations if you just do a lot of people pleasing. For me, what I struggled with it was just like understanding how I navigate that and not go totally the other way, but still have the good nature, the genuine way to listen, genuinely care. And a big thing for me was like, read a book by Jack Frimstone and Zach Thompson called Sales is Therapy. And in that book, they spoke about these different characters that you can play. And this is a big thing for me when it comes to like detachment and like understanding how you can approach things in certain situations within sales calls. And it's funny because in the book they talk about these different personality traits, and it was almost like it was just describing me. So I knew I instantly had a good book. And I've tried, John, as you know, I've tried reading books. Not a massive reader, unless it's like history or something like that. Sales is can be quite boring to read, but this book's incredible. Like it generally caught my attention straight away. Very modernized, but also the style of the selling in it was aligned with my style as well. And yeah, that was a big breakthrough period for me.
What was the 4 characteristics again? So you had the therapist, the lawyer, the idiot. What was the 4th one?
The actor.
The actor.
Yeah.
Do you want to break those down?
Yeah. So what's the number 1?
So we'll start with therapist.
The therapist, yeah, it's kind of just says it as it is on the tin. It's about asking good quality questions, you know, that takes things deeper. The therapist isn't someone that just keeps the conversation surface level. They want to uncover the real deep-rooted problem or challenge, whether that be business or personally.
Love that. Lawyer.
Yeah, so again, from an objection standpoint, it's how they present how they communicate certain things. So a lawyer is quite logical. They're not very emotional, but they'll overcome certain things using logic.
And the idiot?
The idiot is someone you can play to almost confront contradictions within sales calls, but in a way that feels very comfortable and natural. Try to give an example for that. In fact, I won't give an example because I'll make myself look stupid, but hopefully that made sense.
And then the actor?
The actor is someone who can adopt their personality to the person that they're talking to the other end.
Nice.
So if someone comes in with high energy, you replicate that high energy. And if you get to a point where you're being a therapist in that phone call, in that sales call, and they're starting to uncover some deep inner child truths or whatever it may be, that you don't continue with that high energy, you replace that with a nice tone, good energy.
I think on the idiot piece, just because an example that sprung in front of mind for me on that was when a prospect says something that contradicts what they've previously said on the call, to be able to go, hey, just out of curiosity, see just that bit there. Look, I might have picked you up wrong.
Aye,
Look,
that's it.
probably my end. I've probably,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely on me. You said this earlier on in the call, and then I think you said this. Like, is that true? Did I pick that up right?
Yeah.
And it disarms them, right? That's like
100%. That's what it does. It's like, you know what the contradiction is.
Yeah.
You know exactly probably what they're thinking, but you ultimately don't want to put resistance on the call. You don't want to get their backs up because that could be the last chance you get ultimately. So by almost playing dumb, becoming an idiot and saying, sorry, I must have misread what you said, or I'm a little bit confused. Apologies on my end. Can you just clarify this for me, please? At the start of the call, you said that you had budget. Now we're at the end of the call and you said you've got no budget. What one is it?
I think like the best way for people to understand probably is that like these, you need to shift in and out of these.
Yes, you want to apply every single one of these in your calls. It's not just, oh, today I'm going to be the actor. No, the actor is probably someone you start and report and then you dab into when emotions are changing. The therapist is when you are trying to diagnose some problems, some challenges that are going through business or personally. The lawyer is maybe someone you do when you're handling objections, or they ask you quite a hard-hitting question and you want to be quite logical because you can't break down logic. And what was the last one again?
The idiot.
And the idiot, again, just for moments where you want complete clarity, but you know it might add resistance, just be an idiot for 2 seconds, man.
Yeah. I think on the lawyer piece, it's because one thing we spoke about all the time is like you would use a lot of softening words, which is the people pleaser. So it was like maybes, ifs.
Yeah.
It was like there's just a lot of kind of dancing, softening words, which I would pick up on calls and I'd say to you afterwards, I'd be like, bro, stop softening this shit. Lauren's kind of done like 300 to like 350, maybe 400, and I was
kind of excited.
Kind of sold his business.
I didn't know.
But the lawyer, like when I think about the lawyer, it's maximum conviction,
Yeah.
zero softening. You say things with your chest, especially like even like when delivering the price. Like I took on obviously an upsell call at the weekend there. Delivered the price. I sat in silence for like a minute and a half, and I was saying to, I can't remember who I was saying it to, maybe Teddy on the coaching call on Monday. And also I've got the HyperX mic. For anyone that doesn't know, it's like a red mic. I tap the top of it, it goes like, it loses colour. Tap the top, it goes red. He'll be listening to this just now. He sat for a solid minute to a minute and a half, to the point that I just turned my mic off. I just sat there.
I ain't saying nothing.
I ain't saying nothing.
You want to say something first?
So I think the lawyer piece is like you said, logical, not emotional. He's convicting. He'll say things how they are. He doesn't justify as well, which is something that's quite common.
Yeah, doesn't discount as well.
Yeah, I'm curious because you took a training on selling value and using that kind of selling value piece to increase the pricing of your own service. We've done it for clients inside. It was really impactful. One of the things that I think is worth probably unpacking, which people do all the time on sales calls, is take people through that roller coaster of emotions, highs and lows, lows and highs. Do you want to speak about kind of what you spoke about on the training?
Yeah. So this all stems from early Jack sales, like watching reviews, getting people to come and give me feedback and what was going wrong, and people pleaser side of things is like you ask about a challenge or a personal issue, and like the good nature in you wants to instantly give them some sort of solution, give them some sort of like, I know how we can fix this. And that will make you feel good in a way, but it's actually harming your overall sales ability and sales call. And how I imagine it is, if someone gives you a challenge, you see the graph going down, the moment you sell a solution, they go back up, and then they go back to the next bit, and you're just in this roller coaster up and down. Ultimately, what we want to do, and the analogy that Alex Becker talks about, and it's quite gruesome, but it's the best way to describe it. It's like you want to almost like push a nail through someone's foot, but then also be the person that removes it. You don't want it to be constantly up and down. That's just quite unnecessary. But what does that actually mean in sales calls though? Because it's like, oh, that's all well and good, but if you are going through diagnosing someone's challenges and you're giving solutions just after you get a challenge, one, you're not taking the conversation deep enough. So they're not actually feeling the full extent of the current situation that they find themselves in. They're only getting halfway down. Second thing is, when you come to actually presenting your own solutions, you've already said them all.
Yeah.
So they're not getting that excited about it either. You're just repeating yourself. So again, when I think about my current calls, it's just going to the full-on therapist. And once I feel like I've explored enough through a pain point, I will either, depending on the conversation, sometimes you can naturally go into the next one. But sometimes if they've not touched on another pain point, it's just like, hey man, I appreciate you sharing that. Look, I've got a few different ideas on how we can help with that. We'll part that just now. There's other things I'd love to discuss and get clarity on and context on. Does that sound good? And of course they go, yeah, good. And let's move on. And then you go on to the next one and you rinse and repeat that.
And I guess one of the rules we created as well for yourself to try and mitigate that was that we needed 3 problems before we could present solutions.
Yeah, there's definitely moments where there's some solutions, and like what really does class a solution is talking about a journey that you've taken someone on, because it's like a solution could be the hard thing that you need to go and do to actually overcome it. But also in sales, like talking about a result you've got can also be like a solution of like I could get them excited as well.
Yeah.
So it's like just try to remember that yes, a solutions, but it's also like the moment you get them super excited again and having to bring them back down, you're just losing a lot of leverage on your calls. The
nail through the foot analogy.
Yeah.
What really hit this home, pardon the pun, for me. That was a Lawrence joke and a half, by the way. Lawrence would love that. As you're going through each challenge is another knock of the hammer on the top of the nail. So go deeper and deeper and deeper as you get the 3 challenges. One thing that we'll do as well is we'll create tangible outcomes. So, hey, if we solved this, what would happen? Hey, if we didn't solve this, where would you be? Which then starts to create a little bit of hope, but can also create quite a lot of pain as well, because they realise where they are right now. By the time we've ran through the tangible outcomes, the foot, you're in so much excruciating pain, the nail is so deep into the foot that all you can see is the head of the nail. And then you go, look, I can take this out for you. And this is how we do it. These are the solutions. These are the results we've got. This is exactly how we'd implement it. Does this make sense? Do you understand how this could impact your business, impact you? Do you understand how this could solve these challenges? And that is literally you just taking the back of the hammer and removing the nail. And it's that analogy for you and me was such a penny drop moment, right? Because it was like, holy shit, the pleasers in us cannot help but try and help people, because when you tap the nail on the top and they go, oh, that's really fucking sore, that's a really bad pain that's been in my business for 3 years that I've not been able to ever solve, and you're sitting there going, fucking, that's so easy to solve. I could literally solve this for the guy in 5 minutes. It is so fucking hard not to do that when you want to just help people.
No, I know. That's why it took me so long to get it nailed, if you know what I mean. Again, oh god,
Lawrence would love this, by the way.
I know Lawrence is fucking howling at this.
I know, 100%.
Yeah, it's such a subconscious rewiring again, isn't it?
Yep.
And that's why, like, when I done these Goodwill calls years ago, I'd jump off like, that's probably my best call. I was like, why? Because like, you can just give away solutions. You know? So yeah, it's I was going to say, I think another crucial part for like my overall like sales development, especially this year, would probably just be like the quality of the questions. You're going to get prospects that are open, and there's going to be prospects you get that are very closed off, and they're almost like trying to test you, like how good are you? I think for anyone who's maybe struggling with that, the quality of the questions you ask, but also you can't hide from data, man. And if they don't say they track the data, then that's a full new loophole of like, well, why are you not doing it?
Yep.
You know, so that then becomes leverage, isn't it? So yeah, I think that's been a big breakthrough, because that's something that I struggle with as well. Sometimes you come on and be like, I'm struggling with this, and tell you the full story, and it'd be like ideal. But then you kind of take it for granted. You know, you don't actually take that opportunity with both hands. And it's like, for moments like that, I'm always thinking about what's a really good deep question that I can ask him right now that would just get him thinking differently.
There's no better feeling on this planet than asking a good question and hearing them going,
love a great.
ooh, I've never been asked that before. See when you get that, mate.
Aye. I'm like, take your time, mate. In my head, I'm like, you fucking dancer, man. I was a belter. And he did it. It's like, so, but you're so calm, man. You're so
just
calm.
chill dance every day, mate. Every day in the office.
Sure, writing that one down. But that again, that kind of stems from like a Conor Malone mindset training again, isn't it? What it says? It's like something
the quality of your life is dictated by the quality of the questions you ask yourself.
It's a bang.
It's a banger. Yeah.
And again, that's like from a sales point of view, it's the same. It's the same thing. How if you can catch someone off guard with a genuine good question,
the
answers you can get off the back of that.
I think like because we used to have conversations in the past where it's like you'd hop off a call, say someone high energy, get along with them like a house on fire, and it's like you'd be like, mate, that was the fucking easiest call on the planet. Like so easy. I know exactly why I closed them. And then you'd hop on with another person, you'd be like, couldn't get out of them. Like that call was impossible to close. And it really, I think that, like you said, the shift was in the questions, but it's like in coaching, there's plenty of calls like that because the thing is with coaching is that like they've already paid, they've already committed, so they've done the hard bit, but what they don't realize is like what's really hard is actually going deep in all the pain to why you're not doing something. So when I'm on a coaching call and I'm like 20 minutes in, which is quite rare, but I actually had one this week, which is why it's front of mind. I'm like 20 minutes in, and this client's like, nah, this doesn't make sense. That's not why I'm doing it. That's that example you've gave, don't relate to it. Like, see when you're getting those responses in sales, you're almost like, well, what the fuck did I do here? Like, what? He's just so unresponsive to anything.
Stress starts to kick in anxiety. You're like,
100%. You're starting to think, fuck, was that a good question? Man, where's Conor Malone? try to pull him out or so if I can pull him out of a hat. But with the clients, it's like I built the mindset, which would be then transition to sales, which was like your one good question, one good reframe away from a completely different call. And if I think about that call, it was 40 minutes in before I actually got the reframe. And sometimes, man, like, it's just very fucking rare. If I go the full hour and I don't have a full reframe, which I can't actually remember the last time I did, I literally don't hop off the call until I've got it. Because the reframe is what most people need with coaching. They need a reframe with an action that they truly believe in, that they can buy into. That is it. And sales is the same shit. As soon as you ask a question that gets them thinking differently, they instantly start associating that with, imagine I got asked these every day. Imagine if, because you do this very well as well, this is one that once again reinforces the fact you've got no ego. You'll play yourself down to play me up. So you go, imagine if I'm the one asking you these questions, John, mate, wait until you see the questions he's going to. I hear you do that all the time, and that's you're taking the ego away from it. To just reframe and help them look at things through a different lens.
Yeah, I think it's just like I understand where I'm at. Like if someone feels like they're getting value on a call from a sales call, then I just love to see them in a call with you, man. Yeah, honestly, and that just comes from the fact that when it comes to business coaching, mate, I'm nowhere near your level, but obviously I'm trained by you. That's the thing. That's why I can still get these moments on those calls. But straight from the horse's mouth, different, mate. You know what I'm saying?
It's facts, bro. I think it's interesting though. We're trying to act like you're just gassing it. It's interesting because we've done a lot of. You've been through pretty much every sales training that I've went through. Yeah. And there's so much that's different. You've got the hard sales, the brutal sales, that kind of end of the spectrum, which I remember me and you having this conversation and me being like, is this what we need to be like in order to convert these high ticket deals, man? Because I fucking don't want to do it. But like, if this is actually what we need to do, like, I'd be willing to learn it, but I'm not going to feel comfortable doing it. I'm not going to really want to do it. And I don't know who it was. I'm trying to think back. Like, what was the penny drop moment for both of us where we could just start selling this way?
Penny drop moment.
Because we're not hard sales.
No, we're not hard sales. No, far from it. Yeah, we'll have difficult conversations in sales. Yeah, but it's how that's approached. You know, there's influencers that you see that do really well on Instagram and stuff like that when it comes to sales. And I've been down that rabbit hole. I've been close to signing up and trying to become this hard closer. But then I think, generally through my experience, through my lens, would that work with someone that's doing 50, 60 grand? Do you think you can talk to someone like that in that manner? Like, you don't talk about it in that way with someone that's actually a high performer? Yeah. They would no chance, man. You have to come at it that you're at the same bit. It's 50-50, man.
Yep.
As soon as you try and like say that you're better or whatever, you're just going down a rabbit hole that's never actually going to work, man. I don't know what the penny drop moment was, mate. I'm trying to think if there's a certain someone. I think like Jenny Minor, definitely not a hard closer. I would say. I think he's very gentle's not the right word, man. But again, he's not going to shy away from objection. He's not going to shy away from anything. But see, when it comes to his tone and the way that he'll get people to open up, like he's really, really good at that. So I think that's probably where we got it from.
Yeah, I think like one thing I'm writing down here is just like we gravitate to people that we resonate with.
Mhm.
So if I'm thinking about like, I'll never forget. Remember that January strategy day when Lawrence had the icebreaker question, and it was like what's like one piece of advice you've got from someone in the room that like completely changed your life or changed your perspective, or like what's one compliment you want to give to someone in the room? I think that was it.
Yeah.
And Andy was like, Lawrence, you gave me the belief that I can be a good human and make a lot of money. That was
a buyer.
Serious, bro. Because I think like with the sales stuff, you think that in order for you to be a good human, you're going to make less money.
Mm-hmm.
Which there probably is elements of truth. Think about the amount of people we've turned away because they're willing to join, but we don't believe they're the right fit, or they believe their cash is better allocated elsewhere for whatever reason. The amount of people we've done that with would be so much richer. But I was speaking to Yanni about this on Friday, and Yanni, don't know if I've had in the podcast before, by the way, guys, incredible guy. He was like, I think the main reason you've built it to where you are today and you're seeing the results you're seeing today is because of all the people you said no to. That's what he said to me on Friday. And I was like, once again, that comes from the good in our heart too, where it's like we genuinely want to sell people that we know are going to get amazing results and we know is going to be life changing, and we couldn't sleep at night if we were mis-selling. That just wouldn't even be a thing either.
And we need our sleep, I'll tell you. We need
fucking facts, bro.
It's actually something I talk about quite often. It's like, although we're going off the sales piece here, more into like delivery of the Uncommon, it is a bit of a machine that we're having to deliver at a high standard and consistently. Like it's not easy. I think there's quite not a misconception. I think once you're inside, you can see how hard we push to get the results that we have done. But a big thing for us this year is the Coach's Corner. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever spoke about it on the podcast, but very, very quickly. Before, a lot of comms would go directly to John, or if it was sales, maybe directly to me. And what really happened then was like we didn't really have much visibility from a team standpoint to understand like who's being communicated to, who's not, you know, and what are people discussing or what their challenges are and stuff like that. Since we introduced that Coach's Corner, see that overall visibility that I've got from a sales point of view, it's gave me so much more confidence. Although nothing's really changed, if you know what I mean. Like it wasn't like we went and ripped up the full delivery model. It was just a visibility thing, and it's also helped the clients get a much quicker response and people and stuff like that. I noticed a big difference in like my overall sleeping. I don't know if you did as well, but just having that like peace of mind, knowing that everyone's getting talked to and stuff like that was a big thing for me this year.
So I think majority of masterminds, think about Kamal who's came in. It was like Kamal's been part of a lot of big masterminds, and Kamal was like the thing that drew me to the Uncommon was you guys speaking out the personal touch, which has then been reinforced since he's came in. Whereas majority of masterminds are pretty broad. You maybe get a coach that's in your corner, but it's
gatekeeping.
It's not really that intimate. Whereas with the Coach's Corner, you've got me, you've got you, we've got Connor, we've got Alison on with the mastermind clients. We've got private program clients. It's me, it's Connor, and Lawrence. Giving people access to Lawrence as well. And with visibility for sure, I think like when people were to look, if I look at my calendar as an example, look at Connor's calendar, like I had a look and it was since the 1st of December to the 9th, it was something like 23, 24 coaching calls between us, which isn't too bad in terms of between me and Connor. But it's when you actually break down that into a calendar, which then is like 3 group coaching sessions that need to be prepped and delivered. You then break down onboarding new clients, roadmaps, checking in with clients on a consistent basis. Like it's team not just calls. The comms, team comms. It's not just the comms over calls. It's we're getting 2 to 3, maybe even daily messages from some clients asking for thoughts, voice notes, check-ins.
Yeah.
When you break down all of that, you very quickly go, fucking hell, this is. You can see why they're charging what they're charging. You can also see why they're getting the results we are. Because when I speak about Nick's result, I said this to Nathan today, one of the new boys that came on board. I'm like, with Nick, I was inside his business pretty much because we spoke every day, one-to-one coaching for 2 years. So I knew the speed and value that he would get from me, because he would come and he'd go, John, I'm thinking about doing this thing, and I've got all the context. So I speak to him every day of exactly what his business is, so I can give him the advice or give him a perspective that he needs to reframe. That majority of people are getting context and advice from people that have no idea where their business is at, no idea what their challenges are experiencing, no idea what the person's like. And I think why the Uncommon is working so well now is because with the Coaches Corner as an example, there is so much visibility and context to everyone. So if I tag you in on a sales problem, it's like you've already seen all the marketing problems I've helped them solve. Yeah. So you know exactly what their buying journey is like. So you are certain with, okay, they're actually generating more leads through outbound, so their sales calls are going to be colder. So if they try and follow the exact process we do, it's not going to work as well. Then you can go in and help with that. Yeah. If you don't have all that context, you're going to go in and just give them the same sales sauce that we always get.
Generic advice. You know, that's why it's the therapist and all that was really good advice for sure. I think for me as well is like when you watch YouTube trainings or whatever, it can be quite generic. Where I love to deliver sales coaching is very like one-to-one, watching sales recordings for people. It sharpens your own tools, but also sharpens their tools. It feels very rewarding as well when they get a result off the back of it, maybe up their prices or whatever it may be. It's like the confidence that you see it. A lot of their confidence in your business is probably from a sales front, marketing and sales. So yeah, I love actually getting into the granular detail rather than just like skip the generic stuff. Here's the tangible thing you need to go and with just now and actually practice.
Love that, bro. Love it, bro. We've got like 5 to 10 minutes before we're planning on rounding up. That's been our most rapid hour and 10 minutes of success every time. I want to finish on one thing, which you're either going to hate me or love me for not.
I know what you're doing.
Allowing you to prep on this, but also we spent a tremendous amount of time with Connor, with Lawrence, with Alison, with Andy. What's like one thing you've learned from each of them that's been most impactful? Start with the easiest, whatever comes from your mind.
I'll start with Andy.
Yep.
Andy, I would say, is like a brother from another mother that I never knew until I was about 22 or something like that. Like, genuinely good-hearted, good at sports as well. Yeah, kind of like myself. But no, he taught me a lot of things, man. Like his journey, his story is so inspirational to me. Yep. And he's someone I've always looked up to since being part of the Uncommon for sure. Yep. For Lawrence, it probably is that Andy one. It's like you can make money but still be humble and still be like a true person. Yep. So that one, because a lot of people like have these like preconceptions of meeting Lawrence, man, and then I hear these stories like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to go and speak to Lawrence, and he'll hate me saying this, but the first day I met him, we'd like sit across the table and go, I know, it's just random shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then I've got this vision of him, and other people got this other vision. It's like I've like go and speak to him and just like come speak to him after, and like, you're right, he's about an idiot at the same time.
For context, to anyone on Spotify there that just heard that noise coming out of Jack's face, Lawrence loves to wiggle his tongue when he's thinking.
So he was
deep thinking, right? And he looks fucking stupid when he does it, but he loves doing it. But it was, I'll never forget that story, bro. Because Jack didn't really know Lawrence that well, right? Jack comes up to me and he goes, "Here, does Lawrence keep doing that weird fucking like looking at you while he's doing that tongue thing back and forth?" And I was like, I played into it. I was like, nah, he's never done that. That's mad weird. Like that's mad weird that he's doing it. And then the next strategy day, I said to Lawrence before we came in, I was like, see the thinking tongue thing you keep doing, do it more and direct it towards Jack. And you were fucking freaking out. You were like, what the fuck's going on? Why is this guy keep doing this? But the thing is with Lawrence, you're absolutely right. He has this, like, he's humble, he's an amazing guy, but he's also like, he's human as fuck. He's so funny. He cracks up with Pat all the time.
So much substance, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Like substance to him. Depth, that's the word I was looking for. So much depth to Lawrence. No ego, man. Yeah. Like, good luck finding him on social media. Like he's
on the LinkedIn now.
He's on
mate.
LinkedIn now.
We're cooking.
Yeah,
I've
but
got him
again,
on the
it's like
personal brand.
a little story as well. Is like obviously he's had an exit. He's done incredible stuff at such a young age, and also becoming co-owner. It was like we need to communicate that to our audience. We need to communicate like what you've done so they can resonate and you can almost like help them get to that point. How many times did we try and reiterate the bio on his Instagram?
No,
It was crazy.
mental.
He didn't like the way it was worded. It sounded too ego-ish. Like it was.
And the thing is, it was all factual. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, mate, you have exited a company that was in multiple seven figures a year. That is not false. And he was like, yeah, but I just can't have it in there. And I'm like, mate, trust me, man. Just nobody's going to think any less of you for saying a factual statement. Like,
But that's just the person that is.
yes,
That's the main thing. Alison, like a second mother.
Yeah.
Like it goes way beyond business. Like years and years ago, like spent a lot of time in your house back to back playing Call of Duty.
literally back to back.
Literally
People
back
actually,
to back,
yeah.
like genuinely like back of heads touching each other. But I think what she's taught me is just like resilience, man.
That is 100%.
Resilience. That's the main characteristic that sticks out to me, because raising two kids, single parent, not easy. But to do it the way that like what you've became is just incredible. She's always been the same with me, and she's treated me like a son. So yeah, and I obviously know things about the journey that she's been through throughout her life, and she just looks unfazed by it all, man.
Yeah,
unfazed by it.
I'm actually getting her on the podcast.
That's class.
Start of January.
That's class.
So that'll be.
I'm quite watching that. I'm just set up a wee chair.
100%. Run it up.
Put it under pressure.
And Mr. Malone.
Oh, Mr. Malone, man. Mr. Malone. Eh? Where did I start with Mr. Malone? He is probably inspirational. I think that's the thing, man. You're all fucking so inspirational, and in different ways though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think for Connor, he's just like the way he carries himself, the way that he views life, the understanding and deep understanding of just like psychology and all this different stuff. Like, we can sit for an hour and a half and we could literally just rhyme off still game quotes and have the best time of our lives like we did in Thailand. And then 10 minutes later, we could sit down for dinner and have really some deep conversations. I just love the way that see when you have a conversation, he'll give you his full attention.
Yeah.
And he asks really good questions. You know, there's certain things I was going through in Thailand, and it was almost like he wouldn't leave the conversation until it felt like, or I felt like I got something from it, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
I didn't really care how long it would take, even though he still had to drive ages away, go home, and you know what he's like from a performance standpoint. Like, that's the easy inspiration stuff for Connor. Like, it's like easy to be inspired by his routine and the way he carries himself, but just like the other parts of his personality is just top man.
100%, bro. Love that, man. Bro, thank you so much for coming on, brother. That's been
it,
first of many. I think we're going to have to run these up, bro.
Many to it.
Got to run up some just straight up sales sauce. I think we just hop on some sales game.
The real stories of it.
maybe.
One day.
I think as well we could maybe do some fucking role plays and shit like that.
Yeah,
that could be pretty nuts.
Yeah.
There's like a wee mini series, but yeah, Trips. Look, if you've enjoyed the episodes, Jack's obviously we actually did film this about a year ago, and I'm actually almost glad the last one didn't go out, because thinking about how far you've came in a year now and being able to like share that even further. But yeah,
I need that profile picture, but so it was alright with it.
yeah, you got a good profile picture from it, to be fair. But yeah, look, Trips, if you're on YouTube, Spotify, subscribe, follow if you haven't already. Jack's got content going out on LinkedIn consistently, so Jack Smith on LinkedIn. I'll just plug that for you.
Good luck finding it though.
Oh, it's
Jack
true.
Smith's brutal, man. You need to put a wee link in the bottom of this podcast or something.
a wee plug. But yeah, look, Trips, if you enjoyed it, let us know what your favourite part was. We've got episodes going out fortnightly just now. Like I said, I think in the last episode, moving to weekly next year. Want to really hammer this. It's been huge for our growth, showcasing journeys, having mass impact as well. So there's always sauce being dropped regularly. So yeah, look, thank you so much for listening and have an incredible day.